What is up, everybody? In this video, it's a flow state episode I don't fucking remember. It's probably in the description. There is a playlist. Go check it out. These are just quick, dirty breakdowns of trades with a little bit of music in the background. And if you've not seen the FOMC video, I would go watch that because there's a giant reclaim that's put in place. And I also have a video on reclaims and slips, which is very important to understand. And if you can understand those, you should understand what's happening in this video. So in this video, we're going to watch a $3,600 run. I think that's what it is in this specific trade example, just to give you guys some context. And it is going back into the massive up move that the last FOMC put in place. So we're essentially reclaiming into that zone. And what's interesting about this specific video we're going to watch is I was just filming a lesson. I'm recording a multi-hour video on how markets really work. So I was just recording a lesson and literally talking about reclaim slips and the auction process. Didn't even plan on trading. And then all of a sudden I see this thing fucking set up. And I'm like, this is just too good not to take advantage of. So what we're going to do is watch it. So you're going to see video footage of me talking, and this is me teaching the lesson. I'm not going to overlay the current version of me. So you're going to see me talking. It's muted and stuff because all that audio is going to be saved for the actual lesson when I release that. However, I will be narrating in the background and talking in the background as I normally do on these things about what's happening in the footage. Alrighty, guys, so what I want to show you here is we definitely have a range in ES at this point in time. A nice range that had been going on since, well before the open down here at 8:30 my time. And what she's starting to do is probe the low. You know, oftentimes these things probe the lows and you really never know when they may or may not break out. Sometimes there's telltale signs. This one actually mid-pivoted up in this region, and it started to really get stuck on the lower half of the broader range, which can typically be a sign that it might be compressing and getting ready to push out. Again, I'm filming a fucking lesson here, so I'm not even like... I see what it's doing, and then all of a sudden this happens. And I don't trade it right away, by the way. So let's go ahead and just start the footage. What I'm going to do is play it at 2x speed. So what you can see is it's breaking out right at this moment. I'm not willing to trade it, but I am looking to potentially trade it in this region right here. And what's happening is the market is actually stalling. These are 3-second charts. You can see NQ on the right, ES on the left. So what I'm looking for is something called a two-leg move. I want to look for a tactical pause. I want to look for it to not shove back up, because oftentimes these things can shove back up. And what we can see right here is 30-second chart right here, which is a higher time frame. What we can see is the market is starting to stall right here. I'm talking about auction processes. The way this lesson panned out was actually really beautiful, because I was talking about auction processes and I was doing it during a live trading session and just had this shit in the background, and then it just set up in the middle of a lesson. So this is kind of freakishly amazing how this all works. So now it's starting to stall here a lot, and you can see I'm getting serious. I'm like, oh fuck, this actually might be a good trade. And what you can't see is the higher time frame charts. Now you're going to eventually see the higher time frame charts at some point, so you can see where there's a second leg right there pulling back. And what we're wanting to do is we're gonna hunt our way into this trade. You can see the 3-second charts again, ES on the left, right here, NASDAQ right there on the right. 30-second chart here. So I'm talking about measured moves. So notice how I measure the body width of the range. So it moved about a measured move out. So typically when a range breaks, that's what it can do. Now here's the higher time frame. There's an FOMC reclaim right here. Again, watch the FOMC video, guys. we're taking all of that back. Watch the reclaim and slip video to understand this phenomenon, which is arguably one of the most important things in my fucking trading. But for some reason, when I talk about trading, a lot of people don't seem to really give a fuck versus like other videos and shit. So I'm not sure if I'm, there we go. We're getting in it right there at 75s. Because to me, this is a two-leg move at this point. I think I only get 8 contracts in at that point, and now we're at a full clip of 12 right there. So I'm willing to let this trade breathe. There's a little bit of reclaiming coming back into me. Very confident in what this could be at this point. So we're gonna watch it as it sort of dances around. You can see this is a higher time frame. This is like a 3-minute or a 30-minute chart. I'm not sure. Again, we've pivoted this pink line twice now, and we're revisiting it after a huge pullback. So this is kind of a battering ram effect at this point. This FOMC reclaim has been halfway taken, so it's mid-pivoted. So in my opinion, we should see maybe most of it get taken. That's what I'm looking for. Now it's 236 at this point. I'm pretty much in this trade all the way through the close. There's NASDAQ. NASDAQ has a reclaim as well from FOMC. Now it does have a smaller reclaim here, so NASDAQ's gonna have a little more troubles doing what ES is doing, and I believe this is Russell right here, which also there's Russell's FOMC reclaim. But Russell's got more drama. It has this range here. It needs to breach and all that shit. So we're kind of just breaking everything down and looking at it in this specific lesson. And now I'm kind of looking for, you know, we get a 2-leg pause. It's really not even going against me a little bit. It's getting stuck here. Again, willing to let this specific trade breathe. I believe I'm up 1,200 on this session. I was willing to just walk away with that. I was okay with that. Here's our 3-second charts. ES left, NQ middle, Russell on the right. So there's a small reclaim here I'm gonna mark out, you can see. Now we're in this little upper range, little reclaim, little reclaim. Everything is fractal, so bigger reclaims are no different than little reclaims. And by the way, guys, if you want to see more of this stuff, you're really generally interested in my trading, I really encourage you to go and check out the coffee. There is hundreds and hundreds of hours of footage, a bunch of trades like this, narrated, broken down on the hard right edge. You get to see me trade. You get to see how I think through trades. So let's get back into it here and look at the footage. Just have to plug my own fucking shit because this is my fucking channel. Hope you guys can understand. So hovering right on those 75s right here. And by the way, we're starting to see some bracketing on ES. This is bracketing. Notice how it's being held to the tick. This is what makes sort of scalping ES a more challenging thing in this lower VIX environment. ES does hold to the tick a lot. I've been moving more and more into scalping NASDAQ, which again, you can see a lot of that on coffee. I haven't really talked about it on this YouTube channel. All the cutting edge knowledge I have is on the coffee. Huge reclaim up, ES, NASDAQ as well. They're probably going to flush it back down. Again, I'm very confident in this. Coming up to the upper end of this range. A lot of chop walk down. So in my opinion, a huge reclaim here. And a lot of these micro reclaims get taken back. And that's why getting into a hold is rather difficult, because it's hard to predict when something like that is going to potentially happen. Again, this is going to be a great lesson video that I'm working on. It could be like 2 or 3 hours long. I have no fucking clue. I just working on this, and I just wanted to showcase this specific trade for a flow state episode, because it's so good. This is just one of the, and when I do these flow state episodes, I like to show, you know, montagey good trades, right? Even though most of my trading don't look like that. If you want to see the reality of it all, it's the coffee. Again, they're taking the reclaims back. I'm talking about that during this actual lesson. I swear to fuck, the same shit happens over and over. Russell over here on the right, 3-second chart. Again, 3-second charts. Still has a reclaim to go down. Trade's coming back into me. A little bit of a chop walk down, meaning it's not just dumping straight down. It's kind of like chopping down. I mean, it could reclaim up a little bit. Again, guys, there's a video on that. So ES in the middle, Nazi left, Russell right. As we're sitting into this, and I'm gonna keep this going as we watch it. Boom, huge puke right here. Nazi puking out and pausing right here. This could be a 2-leg run, so pause 2-leg. So there's a very high probability at this point this trade's gonna work for me. So I take 4 off right here because it's a 2-leg. Even the, like, it just finished its 2-leg move. So it went, paused, went. So that's a 2-leg move. Now, what it could do is there's a really low probability of a 3-leg here without it coming back on top of me. That's why I scaled. But now it put in a 3-leg down move. So it's coming back up, and it's going to probably want to take some of this reclaim back. But the fact that it went 3-leg in my favor means there's a good chance it won't come back to my entry, at least as of now. The price action can shift, and I always recommend you guys study poker, watch poker vloggers, just see how it's done, how the game is played, because these trades are so much like poker, it's ridiculous. Like, it really is. And having that understanding will, or at least in my opinion, helps you understand how things can just change, and you should, how you know you need to manage a trade by hand, because you know, sometimes you need to just cut it and it won't go to target. You shouldn't be leaving on hard stops or hard targets, in my opinion. That's not the way to trade. So we're pushing down. We still have a little bit of reclaim on NASDAQ. You can see how I drew that yellow line right there. Still not hitting the bigger reclaim on the FOMC you saw there. So I think we have more room to go. And I mean, what's also great about watching me hold trades, which I had a hold today on April 3rd, 2024. So this is on the 26th of March. But as of me filming this now, I had a magnificent hold in the ES today. And what's great is you get to learn how the hold through drama through me. Like, if you watch, you get to see, you get to know when I'm confident on a hold. Just because I'm pretty good at reading this price action. Not to toot my own horn, but I just know when there's another 4-lot scale. Great trade, still have 4 on. So I'm actually being conservative on this. I think it can go to 55, but the problem is, like, if you look at the clock up here, it's 2:49. The last 10 minutes, the volatility gets nuts, and I think that could push the trade in my favor. But I'm not thinking 55 is going to happen, because that's another 10 points, and 10 points in this low VIX is a very tall order. So I'm kind of wanting to squeeze maybe 65 and be really conservative on it. I mean, this is a massive fucking trade for me. Probably one of the bigger ones this year. Actually, today's trade from April 3rd, 2024 is massive as fuck as well. We pulled just over $5 grand. 1,800 of that, though, was from NASDAQ. We got a bit of reclaiming low, so I do believe they're going to hit it. We're still not all the way through that FOMC reclaim you see there. So I don't... Yeah, I think this trade might be a little bigger than the one from today. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to do the math. But anyways, that is in the coffee for those of you that are interested. It's a long video, too. It's a fucking 44 trades, because I was scalping the fuck out of NASDAQ as we watch this. I'll just talk about it. I was scalping the fuck out of NASDAQ to pad up my risk on the ES because I knew I had to take some heat on ES because there's no way I could time it perfectly. A lot of these big holds you can't really time perfectly, and also you're gonna have a lot of drama, and the way things have to be managed is just like, if you're gonna scalp your way in, you need to be scalping your way out because you can't afford to take those paper cuts. If you're gonna let a trade breathe, you gotta let it breathe, but also timing it as perfectly as possible is important. But there's a lot of shit you're never gonna account for in the price action where it shifts, that I account for the unaccounted, basically, and I use NASDAQ to really hedge taking on a little bit more risk than I normally would in order to get this big run today. So huge dump right there. She's obviously very stuck. You know, a lot of traders would panic out of this. Huge move down right here. Still willing to hold because I know what this is. And you got to think, after 7.5 years of experience, you really start to get a, hopefully you do. You start to really understand, like, what this is. I don't know. At least for me. So I just have this, like, sixth sense about things. I've only traded, like, I've pretty much, this is the only market I've ever really traded. Here we go! Going for the 65.50. Look at her flirt fucking right above my entry. Again, this is 2 by speed, so, you know, we're sitting here forever, it seems. Just flirt fucking right above me. There we go. $3,600 fucking trade. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I hope it was enjoyable to watch. Go watch some of the videos that I recommended in this so you can better understand what happened here. And even though these don't seem to be very popular videos, like compared to talking head videos, those do really well for some reason. The psychological videos do well. For me, this has always been a trading channel. It's about trading. It's about talking about trading on the hard right edge, and I will not deviate from that formula, even though YouTube doesn't like it, or you guys don't like it as much as just this other nonsense with the talking heads, which I think those videos are equally as important. However, again, at the core of this channel, this is what it's always been, and I'll see you in the next one!